There are numerous interpretations to the number 7, and some people use it to signify spiritual mandate and completeness. There are over 700 references to the number 7 in the Bible, the most obvious being the 7 days of creation and the 7 colors of the rainbow that God used to promise man that he would never destroy the world again. As we close another 7-year, 2017, Uganda's members of parliament have also resolved that 7 years are better 5 for their term of office. And they also want to propose 7 years for the president, and the current president is called Museveni. New Vision TV looks at the 7th year of every decade in relation to the defining moments of Uganda. The 7th year of every decade for Uganda can be traced 500 years back to the Christian Reformation in 1517. That year, on 31st October 1517, the German monk Martin Luther wrote 95 of these opposing sale of indulgences. That is total forgiveness of one's sins so as to go straight to heaven upon death. Martin Luther had not intended to break up the Universal Catholic Church, but its rigid lack of response led to the rise of Protestantism. Martin Luther was of course excommunicated by the Catholic Church. Exactly 300 years later, the Protestant missionaries led by Alexander Mackay arrived in Uganda, bringing Christianity to the country. In 1887, after widespread turbulence in the territory, the massacre of Christian faithful, who became Uganda martyrs, was completed with the killing of Yohana Maria Muzeyi. In 1897, Kabaka Mwanga, the last independent king of Buganda, was finally overthrown and a baby called Daudi Chwa put on his throne. That was the end of sovereignty. With Mwanga and Kabalega defeated and heading to exile, Uganda became a de facto colony under the British Empire. In 1907, the Banyoro, aggrieved by the loss of their counties to Buganda and by the arrogance of Buganda administrators, staged the first Ugandan resistance called Nyanjire, which succeeded and the Baganda administrators were removed. In 1917, Uganda got connected to Kenya economically through the establishment of a customs union of the two countries. In 1927, the East African Customs Union formed with recruitment of Tanganyika, which had earlier been a German colony until the end of the First World War. Uganda's economy was thus linked to the other two East African states. In 1937, the close of the Golden Jubilee decade of the Anglican Church in Uganda was marked by the launch of the Revival Movement, which is now the widespread Balokole movement. In 1947, the deadly Zika virus was identified at Chisubi in Zika Forest, near Entebbe. The world's scientists descended on Uganda. The strong virus research capability dates from then. In 1957, Express Football Club was founded by Jolly Joe Chiwanuka, known as Timu ya Bantu. It means this was the first football club that was basically a professional club and not a departmental or institutional team. Uganda remains the football power of the region. In 1967, Uganda was declared a republic. The Republican Constitution was promulgated. The East African Community was instituted by the three presidents, Kenyatta, Nyerere, and Obote of Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, respectively. In 1977, at the centenary of the Anglican Church of Uganda, the Archbishop Janan Luwum was executed by the military government after a kangaroo trial by the military, alongside the first African Inspector General of Police, Wilson Olyema, and a cabinet minister, Charles Oboth Ofumbi. The same year, the East African Community collapsed. In 1987, a year after the NRA took power, Uganda officially adopts the free market economy model featuring economic liberalization and privatization. Most notably, the Uganda shilling was revalued by striking 2 zeros and 30% off all money values, whether in cash or in bank. In 1997, universal primary education was launched. The Minister for Basic Education was Brigadier General Jim Muhwezi, who oversaw the implementation. In 2007, Uganda hosted the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting chaired by Queen Elizabeth of England. It was the largest international gathering ever. This year, 2017, Uganda's members of parliament increased their tenure from 5 years, for which they were elected, to 7 years, a move that was described by sections of the legal community as illegal. This came after dramatic arguments in parliament that included a 2-hour physical fight on the floor of parliament. MPs have chosen the 2017 to declare a 7-year term for the House. Will this move be accepted as a biblical quest for perfection?